Sorry, mister. Always a little jumpy before I have my morning coffee. For the law.
What can I do for you?
My name's Beecher, Ward Beecher. I'm a special officer from the Yuma State Prison.
Ringo. Johnny Ringo.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, I've tracked 4 escaped prisoners into your territory. They're killers, all of them. And I need a hand in rounding them up.
Glad to oblige.
Thank you. I always like to work with the local law. Legal, like, you know, it makes everything easier for everybody.
All right. We'll get started just as soon as possible.
Well, there ain't no rush on that, because I figure on having something to eat first.
Aren't you afraid you lose track of your prisoners?
No. They ain't going no place. You can bet on it.
Let's go. I'll head up my deputy. Be all set to leave whenever you say.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. We ain't hunting but 3 now. Cater here saved the state the expense of feeding one of them for the next 10 years.
10 years?
The funeral parlor's right down the street.
Yeah. Well, we'll go eat first. Waiting ain't gonna bother him none.
Ever been on a manhunt before, Cully?
Sounds like it'll be a real tight wire.
Maybe. We'll see how you feel when it's over.
You're about as anxious as a fire eater in a windstorm, Johnny.
Well, personally, I can think of a lot of other things I'd rather be doing. Tell Case to watch after things.
Yeah, he's on his way over. Laura was kind of upset. She had breakfast ready for you.
Did you explain?
Sure. Right after I ate it.
Fill that. See you outside.
I hope we haven't kept you waiting, Sheriff.
Your party.
We sent a telegram to the prison. Told them we'd be heading back soon.
Nothing like being confident.
Well, it all comes with knowing your job, Mr. Ringo. Now, our 3 jailbirds might fly, but not too far.
Not too far.
Especially with their wings clipped the way they are.
What do you mean?
Well, we ran their horses off 3 days ago. They've been afoot ever since.
Without food and no water.
They must be in pretty bad shape.
Save your sympathy, Ringo.
Look, innocent men don't wind up in jail. And they don't try to run off once they've been put there. He's kind of young to be wearing a badge, ain't he?
He'll do his job, all right.
We all set?
Yeah. Whenever they are.
Well, I was thinking I might get a quick shave, but I guess it can wait till we get back.
You sound as if this were going to be as smooth as sailing.
Like shooting sitting ducks, kid.
Sitting ducks.
They probably won't have much fight left in them.
Well, maybe. But me, personally, I'd never take a chance.
You ever give one? pretty bad shape. One of them fell here. The other two men picked him up.
Those tracks look fresh. Now, they can't be too far ahead of us.
Johnny, how do you pitch this?
They were digging for pebbles.
What's the spiel?
Well, that's the Indian way. You dig down in the ground, find some cool pebbles, and then you suck the moisture out of them.
Guess they must be pretty desperate.
The worse off they get, easier it is for us. That Indian stuff sounds like Sam Howell's doings. Sam's smart. He's mean like an old wolf.
Mean like an old wolf.
Maybe you know him, Ringo. He's from this part of the country.
No, I can't say that I do.
Well, according to prison records, he's got a wife living in Velarde. Got a little place out near Wilson's Creek. In fact, from what I hear, she's kind of nice.
Just waiting for her man to come home. Or any man, for that matter.
Think we're close to him, Johnny?
I bet they're watching us right now.
Gives me sort of a funny feeling.
I don't suppose they're exactly comfortable either. We better walk from here.
What do you got there?
Well, that's my best friend, kid. I had it made up special for me.
That's the first smoke pole I've ever seen with a telescopic sight.
Huh?
Mind if I look at it?
I said he was my best friend. He don't trust strangers.
Major! I ought to break your head.
Why, I just saved the taxpayers a lot of money.
And earned us $100. You see, the prison pays us $50 for every fugitive we bring in. And $100 for every one we don't.
That's right.
You murderers! You dirty, filthy murderers!
That's Sam Howell up there. You still feel so charitable toward him, Ringo?
What do you expect after shooting a man in the back?
Why didn't you give him a chance? Talk to him.
Well, I did talk to him, kid. Only way his kind understands.
Sam! Sam Howell! My name's Ringo, Sheriff of Velarde. Come on down and give yourself up. You'll be in my custody. I'll guarantee you safe conduct back to town. I don't know you, mister. But if you're traveling with them two scavengers, you must be the same breed. It's no deal.
You satisfied now?
Gully. Give me my canteen.
I'd leave that gun on if I was you.
You seem fairly handy with a rifle. You're man enough to protect us all, aren't you? Here. Now keep me covered, but don't fire unless they do.
You crazy? They'll kill you.
I've never heard of a thirsty man yet who refused a drink of water.
Now, wait a minute. You give those two water, we may never get them.
We'll get him, mister. But we're gonna get him alive.
That's far enough. Take one more step and I'll kill you.
I brought you some water. Yeah, take it easy. There's plenty for both of you.
If I live to be 100, I won't ever forget how that tasted. Okay, thank you for the drink, mister. But you ain't doing us any favors. And for nothing. What do you want?
I already told you. Give yourselves up.
Sam, tell the man he's wasting his time and his water.
You heard what he said.
Now, let's talk sense. There's not a chance of you getting away. What do you want to do, die up here?
Anything's better than going back to prison.
Yeah. I'd rather be all dead than half alive.
You both made mistakes. The law says you have to pay for them.
I stole a sack of salt. One stinking sack of salt. And I've been locked up like an animal for 7 years. That's payment enough.
Sam, they tell me you have a wife. What about her?
Leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
What's so funny?
Huh?
What's so funny?
Oh, I bet the smell of coffee and bacon tied knots in their stomachs.
At least they've got water.
Yeah, thanks to our good-hearted sheriff.
Yeah, Johnny Ringo, the saint with a six-gun. Why, he never shot a man in his whole life.
Whole life.
Facing a man in a shootout is one thing. Gunning him down like an animal is something else.
Well, you've got the wrong outlook, Ringo. Now, face it. They are animals.
Did you ever try picking our butterfly apart?
They knew what to expect when they run off.
I've heard stories about Yuma Prison, and if they're only half true, you can't blame them for making a break.
Well, I'm glad they did escape. Keeps me and Kate in a job. Well, I guess I'll just turn in.
What about them?
They can't hold out very long. Nothing for us to do but just sit and wait. That $200 almost in our pockets.
Sure beats sheriffing, don't it, Ringo?
Blarty to find Sam Howell's wife. Maybe she can convince him to give up.
It'll take you 5 or 6 hours to ride in and back. By that time, it might be too late.
They'll hold out a while longer. Sam was just in camp. Stole some of our bacon.
Here? He was here?
Yeah. But he left over half of it for us. A man that do that's got some good in him. If they wake up, don't tell them where I've gone. Stall till I get back. Mrs. Howell?
Sam's dead, ain't he?
No, ma'am, he isn't. At least not yet.
Then what do you want with me?
I rode in to ask you for help.
There's nothing I can do for you, mister. For Sam either.
That's where you're wrong. You can save his life. We have him trapped up in some rocks. Now he can come down and surrender,
Or you'll kill him.
if I would have wanted your husband dead, Mrs. Howell, I could have killed him last night.
Maybe it would have been better if you had.
You don't really mean that.
No, mister, I don't. I'm just like any other woman that loves a man. I want him home and safe.
And I want him alive, so he can be someday.
Being lonely has gotten to be a habit with me. But I guess having something to wait for is better than nothing at all. It'll take me but a minute to get ready.
First you give him water, and then you bring a woman up here. Now, you've been getting in our way ever since we started.
Just trying to help you do your job.
Sure we are. That's why Johnny let Howell wheel off with some of our bacon last night.
You what?
You mean he was here and you let him get away?
Well, now he's worth $100 to you. Wouldn't want to cheat you out of it.
Man can get away with anything when he's wearing a badge, can't he, Sheriff?
Maybe you'd like me to walk away a couple hundred yards and turn my back. Come on, Mrs. Howell.
Mr. Ringo, what if he won't listen to me?
Then you won't have to wait for him any longer.
Hello, Sam.
It's good to see you, Myra. You haven't changed a bit. You're still as pretty as ever.
And you're still a bad liar. Oh.
I'll meet you in camp, Mrs. Howell. Bring him with you.
They've been together over an hour. Now, that's plenty of time to get him down here.
Man and woman can store up a lot to say to each other in 7 years.
Howell ain't with her.
Where's Sam?
I tried, Mr. Ringo. He said he wanted some time to think about it.
All right, you've had your chance, Sheriff. Now it's our turn.
Give him a little more time, Mr. Ringo. He'll give himself up. I know he will.
Johnny!
trying to run away?
Just to make sure nothing happens to Howell and Fraser on the way back to Yuma, I'm taking them in personally.
What do you want me to do with this, Johnny?
Do I have to tell you?
You're not gonna get away with it. You're gonna buy me a new gun.
There's a lot I'm gonna do for you, Beecher. Now get out of here, both of you. Saddle up your horses and head for Yuma. Before I forget about this piece of tin on my vest.
I want to thank you, Mr. Ringo, for everything.
Hold it, Mr. Howell. It's much too late to go to Yuma now. I'll expect you in my office in the morning.
I don't know.
Come on, Fraser. You can double up with Cully.
Johnny, you think he'll come back?
Mm-hmm. He'll come back. Let's go.
Ringo, Johnny Ringo, his fears were never shown. The fastest gun in all the West, the quickest ever known. Everywhere he traveled, trouble was all that he found. Face to face with a man set to prove that he could shoot Ringo down. Ringo, Johnny Ringo, his fears were never shown. The fastest gun in all the West, the quickest ever known.
Sorry, mister. Always a little jumpy before I have my morning coffee. I'm looking for the law.
What can I do for you?
Well, my name's Beecher, Ward Beecher. I'm a special officer from the Yuma State Prison.
Ringo. Johnny Ringo.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, I've tracked 4 escaped prisoners into your territory. They're killers, all of them. And I need a hand in rounding them up.
Glad to oblige.
Thank you. I always like to work with the local law. Legal, like, you know, it makes everything easier for everybody.
All right. We'll get started just as soon as possible.
Well, there ain't no rush on that, because I figure on having something to eat first.
Aren't you afraid you'll lose track of your prisoners?
No. They ain't going no place. You can bet on it.
Let's go.
I'll head up my deputy. Be all set to leave whenever you say.